So don't allow other people to influence you when it comes to something that you want to do with your life, okay? We tend to not trust within ourselves, so we tend to turn to, like, either our friends or our family, and we ask, hey, is this something that I should do? Or, and some people will agree with you. Some people will say, oh no, go ahead. If that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you want to pursue, go ahead and pursue it. But when we start to look to other people, we start to allow other people's different opinions. And I've done that because when I get excited about something, or when actively pursuing a goal, I get so excited. Or, when I know that everything is working out in my favor, I get so excited, then I start to tell the rest of the world, and that's the problem. You don't want to allow other people to influence your judgment of what you should and what you should not do, okay? When you're manifesting and when you are creating something, especially behind the scenes, a lot of people's different opinions are going to cause you to become indecisive about whether or not what you're creating is going to actually come into fruition. And that becomes a problem. So learn to be quiet. The rest of the world does not need to know what you're doing. Okay? It's important to make things happen within silence. Always move in silence. Never, and not saying, I know you get excited. It's okay to, like, if you want to talk to yourself about it or you want to write it out. And, because a lot of people are going to try to stop you. There's not everybody is rooting for you. And not everybody believes in manifestation, which does not make any sense to me because manifestation is real. But when you are, you know, when you want to start a business, or what, like, you hear certain people say, oh, only certain people could become millionaires. Certain people could become, they have to, you'd have to have that inherited into your family. You'd have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people will say things like, oh, not everybody can, become an artist. Not everybody can become a content creator. Not everybody can become the next author, the next motivational speaker. There's so many people that will say things like that because they have their own fears and they have their own doubts. And because they doubted themselves, or because they don't believe in themselves, don't allow that to make you indecisive. Don't allow that to be your judgment. Those people judge because they don't have the actual faith to actually say, you know what, this is something that I want. This is something I truly want to make happen, and I'm going to make it happen regardless of what anybody else says. A lot of us allow society, or the naysayers, as though Les Brown would call them, to get into our ear. And that's when you have to say no. You have to say, no, I'm not going to allow someone else to tell me that what I want, I can't have. And when we do allow that, we limit ourselves. And that's when you don't want to live a limited life. You want to live limitless, okay? Because everything in life is possible. You can make the impossible possible. I don't care what it is that you want. I don't care if your friends are telling you it's not going to work. I don't care if your family's telling you it's not going to work. Trust and believe that it will work. And as long as you have the faith, and as long as you believe in yourself, when you have confidence, that means that you are trusting and believing in yourself. So decide to believe in you and not believe in the rest of the world. The rest of the world is not going to see it to be real, like Neville Goddard said, and that's totally fine. But as long as you believe that it's real, as long as you believe that what you're creating is happening, you know it's real, you know it's happening, you know that you are a powerful creator and you can manifest anything that you want in this life. And I know I've said it thousands of times, and I'm going to say it again. Manifestation is 100% real. Not 75%, not 85%, not 90%. It is 110% real, okay? Think about how this world was created. It was created as of a thought, and then next thing you know, the world was created. So when we think of when you see people, when you see people, following their dreams, and when you see people out there going for their goals, they don't care. They not worried about what other people think. Never allow someone else's opinion of you or someone else's opinion of what you do to stop you from achieving the goals that you want to achieve. That don't matter. The rest of the world can say no, but God will say yes. The universe will say yes. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world says. It doesn't matter how other people see it, perceive. They're not living in your life. This is your life. That's not their life. So there's going to be a lot of people in your ear that's going to tell you, oh, girl, you know damn well you can't do that. Girl, remember what happened last time? You going to have, what I'm saying, Jenny up the street talking shit about you, probably telling her friend, oh, she said she meant, nah, 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 nah. And let me tell you something. When you're look at it this way, people don't show up to the dinner until it's finished, okay, until it's done. So right now, think of your manifestation or your manifestations. Think of them as a peach cobbler, okay? Think of it as a peach cobbler or a sweet potato pie that's in the oven. It's baking, right? Okay, cool. You done already put all the ingredients in. You done already done the work. You done already did what you had to do. Now all you got to do is just put it inside the oven and wait for it until it's ready. That's all you got to do. Then you take it out. You put that little timer on it. So now, this is what's happening. Your peach cobbler, your sweet potato pie, that manifestation is baking in the oven. That's your manifestation. It's baking in the oven. People not going to show up until after they see the results, because you have people that say, I'll believe it when I see it. And I don't like people like that, because that don't make sense to me. A person can say they'll believe it when they see it, but you walk around here saying that you believe in God and Jesus, and you've never seen or you've never met them. So it's a contradiction within itself. But that's just my opinion. So when it's in the oven, you ain't got to, you'll check on it a few times. Don't be trying to check. And you'll know, because you already got the timer. Let me tell you something. You already know how long the peach cobbler going to take. You know how long the sweet potato pie going to take. It's baking. It's cooking. Or you could think of it as a cake. It's cooking. You know what I'm saying? It's cooking. And when it come out that oven, baby, you already know the work that you put in. You already know what you've been doing behind the scenes. So you know that everything that you've done and what you've put, the ingredients that you put in your recipe, this gonna be a good ass pie. This gonna be a good ass cake. Okay? Because you have faith in it. You the one that created it. You're the one that did, you know what I'm saying? You had the recipe. Okay? And you don't need to tell everybody your ingredients. You don't tell nobody what you put in your stuff. You don't tell people your secret recipe. They don't need to know your secret recipe. 9 times out of 10, they gonna try to steal it. And 9 times out of 10, they gonna get jealous. They gonna get jealous because they themselves, they don't feel, oh, well, I could do that better than. You know what I'm saying? So, and to go back to what I said previously, people show up after the food is done, right? After you done made everything and everything set out on a table. Okay, it's time to eat. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna show up when the food cooking, because I used to show up when Granny was making that sweet potato pie and whipping it on up. I used to eat the filling that she had, and whoo, baby, it was delicious. But you know what I'm saying? So remember that. Oh, excuse me. Remember that you don't tell nobody what you doing with your life. Don't tell nobody about your goals. Continue to move in silence, because not everybody needs to know. There's some people that care, and there's some people that don't. And majority of the people that they want you to fail. You know what I'm saying? When you start to tell everybody, have you known that if you really think about it, when you start to tell everybody what you manifesting, you cause a delay in your manifestation, because you got, you know what I'm saying, some people might say for instance, if you manifesting a specific person, right, and you told Sarah, oh yeah, I'm manifesting so and so. Sarah don't believe in manifestation, so in her mind she thinking, oh girl, that ain't gonna happen. Now you tell Sarah you manifesting so Johnny, and she telling you, well, Johnny's in a relationship. Johnny don't want to be with you. Y'all been there, y'all done that. That ain't gonna happen again. But you tell her, no, I definitely feel that. And then you start and then every day Sarah telling you, oh, did your manifestation work? Did Johnny call you? Did he unblock you? Did he do this? Did he do that? And then you start to think to yourself, you know what, maybe Sarah right, maybe this isn't real, maybe I should just give up. And a lot of people do that. And even with like when you achieving a goal, when you say if you say, you know what, this year you say, fuck it, I'm finna lose 100 pounds. All right, I'm finna lose 100 pounds within the next 3 months, 2 to 3 months. And you tell Billy talking about, man, you know damn well you can't drop that weight, man. And you saying, nah, I've been doing it. Like, I've been working on myself. I've been going to the gym. I've been eating healthy. Man, that don't mean nothing, man. You still be doing this and that. And Billy started talking about you, saying, well, you used to do this. You'd always procrastinate, so I don't think that you could really do. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that will try to get in your ear and tell you that you can't accomplish what you know that you can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you start to then allow the opinions of others to dictate whether or not what you're creating can actually happen, whether or not it's actually working. Then you put yourself in a position of allowing the external things outside of you to tell you, and that's also another circumstance. People, that's why you never tell nobody anything you doing. My granny always told me, if you're doing something, let people see you pop out. Let people see you pop out with the new car. Let them see you pop out with your new person. Let them see you pop out with your new house. Don't tell nobody, because a lot of motherfuckers, they're not rooting for you. A lot of people want to see you fail. And when people speak negative on something that you're doing, 10 times out of 10, they feel they have insecurities within themselves and doubts within themselves that what they want can't work. Then they start to think, it's like with misery loves company. Don't show up to the table. Don't show up to the party. Stop. What does it say in the Bible? Do not put your pearls amongst swine. Something like that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. But those are your pearls. Your manifestation are your pearls. So those pearls that you have, you don't share that with folks. You not supposed to be telling people, nah, fuck all that. They don't need to know. They don't need to know. The only thing that matters is that you know. That's between you and God. That's between you and the universe. That's between you and your higher self. This is not, your manifestation is not for everybody and their mama to be up in your business. Okay? You have a manifestation buddy, that's different. You talking about your manifestations and talking about, that's different. That's going to make you like, oh yeah, I like that. I feel, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to be telling people who don't believe in manifestation and who just going to doubt you. A lot of people doubt you because they doubt themselves. So don't put yourself at that level, because you're up here and they're down here. So remember, you can accomplish anything and achieve anything within this lifetime. It don't matter if the world says no. God will always say yes. Peace.